Welcome to U.S. Defense Line Channel. Explosion sounds echoed from a critical Russian military point in Donetsk. With the HIMARS missile systems from the United States, the violence of the operations is intensified. First from North Korea. Critical relations between countries shape war. Explosion sounds on the fronts took place one after another. According to breaking news, explosion sounds were heard from critical Russian military equipment. Russian soldiers are experiencing serious declines in their offensive and defensive power, as equipment and ammunition are increasingly scarce. This time, troops from the Ukrainian Air Command shot down and neutralized two Russian Ka-52 helicopters on the southern Kherson front. 3 Russian kamikaze drones were shot down on the Mykolaiv front, also in the south. Operations in the south seem to have started to yield results. At the same time, it was reported that 11 Shahed drones were shot down in the evening. It expands the scope of operations. Mutual attacks are no longer carried out on a single front, but on many fronts simultaneously. According to breaking news, a large ammunition depot was blown up in the Pokrovsk region on the Donetsk front. Ukrainian troops continue their operations with HIMARS missile systems increasing. According to the statements, in this counterattack with the HIMARS multiple rocket launcher, a large Russian ammunition depot was hit and destroyed. Strong explosions were heard in the area. Ammunition in the warehouse has also been rendered unusable. Ukrainian troops can hit many critical points and gain serious advantages, especially thanks to the HIMARS missile systems from the United States. As long as the missile systems, which have been of critical importance since the beginning of the war, are sent to Ukraine, the troops will gain a great advantage. It is also known that the Donetsk front, where this ammunition depot is located, is one of the most important regions in the east. In this region, where it is very important to achieve full dominance for both countries, every move is of great importance. At the same time, operations continue in the Bakhmut region, which is also on this eastern front. Ukrainian troops, which maintain their superiority over most of this region, can corner the Russian soldiers at any moment. Russian troops, on the other hand, continue their unsuccessful offensive attempts and deployments of military equipment. However, it is thought that the Russian soldiers in the region are having a very difficult time and may have to withdraw at any moment. As it is known, Russia has difficulties in providing insufficient military equipment and ammunition to its soldiers at the front. Reason for this is that both his logistics points were seriously damaged and he could not even repair his existing weapons due to sanctions from countries. Since the beginning of the war, Russia is starting to become an increasingly lonely country. As it is known, some of the countries that are thought to get along well are countries such as Iran, North Korea, and China. But many countries did not even send their support to Russia or did not want to admit that they did, for fear of sanctions. The most notable of these countries are North Korea and Iran. However, according to the breaking news, the train service from North Korea to Russia was launched for the first time in years. According to the statements, a train is being sent to Russia by covered wagons with an unknown cargo content from North Korea. According to estimates, ammunition transfers can be provided with this train. In this way, military equipment can also be exchanged. It is stated that these trains heading towards Russia have crossed the border. It is also a matter of curiosity whether the countries that do not accept that they are sending aid secretly provide aid to Russia. At the same time, shocking statements about drones came from Iran. He ended his lie about the supply of drones to Russia, but drew attention with a new claim. It seems that Iran's latest move will not work for Iran. Iran has long denied supplying drones to Russia and never admitted it. Despite this, Ukraine showed that this was a lie by sharing parts from Iranian-made drones. United States also confirmed Iran's aid to Russia, but now he has angered Ukraine with his statement. After this period, Ukraine may try harder to impose sanctions on Iran. Iran has now accepted aid, which it flatly refused. Russia has been using Iranian-made Shahed 136 kamikaze drones in its attacks against Ukraine. Russian forces use them as Jarin. Iran has repeatedly denied supplying drones to Russia. He confirmed Iran's aid in a statement at the White House. Due to these attacks, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba also demanded that Iran was a partner in the attacks of Russian forces and that sanctions should be imposed on Iran. BL0WS also submitted a proposal to the Ukrainian President Zelensky's decision to cut diplomatic relations with Iran, since Iran's drones are used by Russia on Ukrainian soil. He also asked Western countries to impose sanctions on Iran. Head of the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has now openly admitted that Tehran is supplying unmanned aerial vehicles to Russia, but he again made a remarkable claim. Iran claimed that this supply had been made before. Iranian president claimed that this procurement was made months before Russia began attacking Ukraine. On the other hand, Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesman Olena Nikolenko reminded that Iran had previously denied that the weapons used by the Russian forces in the war were not supplied to Russia in every possible way. No one is expected to believe Iran's new lie. If Iran had really given these drones before the war, it wouldn't have to lie about it for so long. Also, there would be no need for Russian forces to change their name. It is clear that Iran made these incomplete statements only in order not to impose sanctions on the country. Nikolenko also stated that the consequences of Iran's partnering with the Russian Federation in its attacks on Ukraine would be far more far-reaching than the benefit it would bring to Russia from supplying weapons. We may not know at this time what Ukraine's next move will be, but it is certain that Ukraine will continue to seek support from Western countries to impose sanctions on Iran. Iran could lose more money from the weapons it provides to Russia than it gains from its relationship with Russia. No one can be expected to believe that Iran admits that it is supplying it but that it has procured it months before the war. While Iran has not accepted it for a long time, it may not be considered in good faith to accept this while Western countries are asked to impose sanctions on this issue. We'll see if Iran regrets its aid. But what is certain is that Ukraine will not give up on this aid anytime soon. Now, it is very important what Western countries will do after this statement. Critical decisions can be taken by Western countries for Iran. It is also known that both support and sanctions are of critical importance for countries in the course of the war. For this reason, the continuation of aid to Ukraine may push Russia even more. On the other hand, the countries from which Russia receives and will receive aid may regret it at any moment. We can see that they are afraid of sanctions because they do not want to accept this while still supporting. Now, the sanctions applied and to be implemented by the Western countries are much more critical. Although the course of the war is progressing in favor of Ukraine with each passing day, if this situation is desired to continue in this way, the military aid sent should be increased and continued. In the face of this situation, Russia may become confused about what to do. This may lead to an increase in military resource and equipment shortages on the front. Each step taken by the two countries has become more critical than the previous one. If Ukraine can continue its successful moves, it will take back many regions as a result of greater success on the fronts. In this way, Ukrainian flags will be flown in each reclaimed region. Russian soldiers, on the other hand, may have to face major defeats if they have to deal with more military and logistical difficulties. This will lead to a decrease in the motivation of the soldiers and their attack and defense power, albeit indirectly. In time, we will see how the war will be shaped according to the steps to be taken by the countries and which country can achieve more success. From now on, every move that countries will make must be advanced in line with much more strategic goals. Otherwise, if one side makes a mistake, the other side can turn this situation into an opportunity and gain an advantage in the war. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.